I'm finishing off a very hot day on the campaign trail here in Woolman. My day started over in Mudgee, where I had 2 radio interviews booked, both with 2MG and Real FM. And I really have to thank those 2 radio stations for giving me time on a regular basis to talk about my campaign and what I'm hearing as I travel around the Mudgee electorate. They're both very generous with the time they give me. I then headed off up north from Mudgee, east of Golgong, and I wanted to go to some places that were near some of the coal mines that are very important to Mudgee's economy. So I went up to Ulan, Stubbo, Cope, Kambandri and Yarrawonga and called on into a number of people there. Some I had appointments with, some I just knocked on some doors and said hello and do as I always do and just say, I'm Mathew Dickerson, what do you want from your state government? And what was really interesting there was there were 2 probably general trains of thought. There are a lot of people that live in those areas that work in the coal mines. And I met one particular lady whose husband worked at Ulan from the inception of Ulan. She said about 38 years ago. And she's got 2 sons who are now working in the coal mines around the same area there. So from their perspective, coal mines are very important from an economic point of view, from their family's perspective. I met other people who aren't the greatest fans of the coal mines there. And some of these people have been living there for a long time, either before the coal mines started or maybe when there was one coal mine and then they've grown. And so living near those coal mines when you're not engaged with those coal mines is a different experience. So there were 2 specific trains of thought around there, and I think both sides can exist beside each other, which obviously they do around those areas. But it was important from my perspective to make sure I heard both sides of the argument and really just got some feedback from them in general. I then came back to Mudgee. I had a couple of people to catch up with in Mudgee, and then I'm making it back home and I go sometimes the Ballymore way, sometimes I go the Wellington way, but this time I was here to catch up with a couple of people just outside Wellington as well. So it's been another good busy day on the campaign trail, heard lots of bits of feedback, a whole range of different views, and that's really what I'm after. I want to make sure that I hear from people in the electorate. I want people to tell me what is important to people across the entire electorate. Roads came up as a big issue today. Again, some of those areas you can imagine, the roads aren't in the best condition. Health came up as another issue again today. Some of those people in those areas, Mudgee is the closest reasonable sized health facility, but it's really not good enough. So a lot of those people in those areas travel to Dubbo or to Orange or even down to Sydney. So I'm hearing a few common themes, but certainly there are some specific issues in different areas as I travel around. And that's really important, getting out across the entire electorate to make sure I hear all those different issues. Tomorrow I'm off to some areas again near Mudgee, World's End, Yarrabin. I might even try and get down to Tramble if I've got time to get down there. It just depends how long the conversations go for as to how many places I might get through in a day. But there is no question about it. People are very generous with their time. I really appreciate the time that they all give me. And everyone, absolutely everyone, has got an interesting story to tell or has got some interesting information to give me. So I really appreciate it when they open the door and I say good day. And to this point, still, people ask me if it's a really tough job, but no one has approached me with a shotgun. No one's put the dogs onto me. No one's chased me away. Everyone has given me some of their time, sometimes a lot of their time, to talk to me and tell me what's going on in their electorate. And that's great because if I'm successful on the 23rd of March this year, all this feedback is going to be invaluable for me to make sure that I can be a fantastic representative for this entire electorate. This has been Mathew Dickerson, your independent voice.